somebody he actually knew until like the murder head came out.
Yeah.
The song where it was talking about she died in the back of his mind. Actually, that's
Stop. Hey, I'm not gonna. Anyway, what is up, guys, man? Just chilling here with my nephew. We were talking about the whole David situation before I went live, but I realized I was 14 minutes late and I had to press the button. Thank you for joining me today. No Jumper is not giving you a 12 o'clock show. And I think what I want to do from now on, I think I want to give you a 12 o'clock show when they try to give you a 4 o'clock show. I think that'll be good because we can just, y'all come over here and get what y'all want and then y'all deal with that later on. We good. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we are going to cook. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Ali, in the chat, my brother in Kenya. Blessings to him and his family and everybody else who tunes in with your boy today. But guys, we got to get into this situation with Celeste Hernandez. I just like calling her Celeste Rivas because I think it has a nice ring to it. May she rest in peace. Nothing I say today is in any way meant to disparage or cast negativity on her passing. I wish her family the best, all that stuff. But we are looking into this case extensively because there is a man's life that is at stake when it comes to the consequences that David could face if he is found to be guilty of anything that people are suggesting he did. Now, what we have to understand is David has not been arrested yet, right? So that means the police do not feel, and this is California, where they looking to arrest a brother. You know, they looking for a reason to arrest a brother. But up until this point, David has not been arrested. That tells me, and anyone with common sense, that they do not have enough evidence to justify arresting him. Or they know for a fact that he is not the one who actually, deleted Celeste, and they are looking for clues that can that can point to whoever may have did it. But the peanut gallery, the court of public opinion, has determined that they want David to be guilty of this. Now, the pedo stuff, David is, if he did do stuff with her, right? Because I wasn't in the bedroom with him. But the pedo stuff, that seems pretty concrete, right? Alleged pedo stuff. I have to say alleged. I'm not trying to get sued. That seems pretty concrete, right? But the murder in itself, him actually killing this girl, that is something that is up in the air. And it's even more up in the air because new footage has actually places Celeste with her family after the family filed a missing persons report concerning her, saying that she was missing and they didn't know where she is, right? So this throws all of the assumptions up in the air, right? This throws all the assumptions up in the air. And now we have to, it rewrites the timeline. And that's a big deal because everybody, including myself, thought this was pretty much an open and shut case. Actually, though, when I was on No Jumper talking about this situation, I made it clear I was not sure if David was the murderer, but I said it's pretty open and shut with the alleged pedophilia, right? But they haven't even arrested him for that. So it's like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, he may get away with that because she's no longer alive to tell to disclose the actual nature of their relationship, right? We are not advocating for pedos up here. We're not doing that. PDF files. We're not doing that. That's wrong to do. There's no justification for a man 18 years old being involved with a girl who's 12 years old and later on him being 20 and her being 15. 100% wrong. I want to make that clear. But with the murder, the part that really has the potential to sink this guy, right? To sink this guy, the murder is up in the air because Celeste Hernandez is seen in a video, ironically having a heated argument with members who identify themselves as Southsiders. That Southsider in California means you are a part of a Mexican gang and you are directly connected to the drug cartels in Mexico. You're a Southsider, your gang's rolling with 13 on the back of it, and you are connected directly to whatever the Mexican mafia calls themselves these days, La MA or whatever it is, okay? MS-13, I don't know, but you're connected to that. And in the video, which you're going to see, they are saying, oh, you acting black. You coming through with that N-word talk, which alludes to something that we've been saying for quite some time. You know, all these people talk about a black-brown coalition. Yes, there are Hispanic people who like black people, and there are black people who love Hispanic people. They even love humping on each other and making little beautiful Blaxican babies. But that does not negate the fact that there is a criminal element within California of Hispanics that has a vitriol in many cases for African Americans, right? I am an African American. I've never seen an African American gang member outside of Long Beach go after someone who is Hispanic just because of their race. And even in Long Beach, I've never even seen someone go after someone just because of their race. It's because they're from a particular gang that happens to be made up of Hispanic people, right? But when they're saying, here you go with that N-word talk, that to me shows a certain bias based on race. I've never heard a black person say, there you go with that Mexican talk. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard that. Maurice, have you ever heard a black person say that? Okay. He shakes his head no. I've never heard any black person say that in California across the board. But it doesn't matter whether she was El Salvadorian or what. I mean, it matters because of their culture. But we're in California, bro. If you are from south of the border, you are pretty much considered a Mexican. That's just what they're going to say, Mexican. Now, here's the thing. And maybe they had a beef with her because she was El Salvadorian, right? Please hit the like button. But she's going at it with these dudes. And I'm thinking in my mind, damn, this girl ain't acting like no 15-year-old girl. Damn, this girl is acting like a grown-ass woman, and she clearly sounds like she's high on something. So that tells me that she very well could have been involved in some type of drug use, right? Or alcohol use. And at such a young, tender age, it's really sad to see her in that state. But this tells me, from what I see, Celeste could have very well made enemies that could have wanted to see her 6 feet under. We're going to play this because this story is blowing up. It's actually made News Nation, something that I watch. And I was shocked to see the story there. And I said, oh, yo, I got to cover it. Do me a favor. Let me know if you guys like me covering these kind of topics, because if you love it, I'll keep it going. Let's tap in with News Nation and see what they say about it. And then I'm going to continue with my predictions, because one of the predictions I made was that maybe Celeste had other enemies. I said maybe Celeste had other people who could have wanted her dead. And no, it's open and shut. David did it. That's what all you were saying. And you guys were even mad at me for saying that. And I'm like, no, life is never as simple as some ignorant people would prefer it to be. And this girl was wild, young, in the streets. You had Tam. She was screaming, oh, her mother couldn't know because she's a woman and women are innocent. I wish Tam's ass was here right now. I'll give her the link, because she was swearing that the mother didn't know that Celeste was out in the streets being ratchet and all that stuff. But clearly the mother knew her daughter was out here being ratchet, because she was right at the family's house getting into that conflict. If that's your kid and you're looking at them, you're going to say, damn, my kid is a rapscallion. My kid is out here going hard. She is clearly not my innocent little what do you call it? Hispanic what, muchacha? You know what I'm saying? That I breastfed and raised from a baby. So this video alone debunks Tam's total argument, that ignorance. And now it's given us a little more insight to this woman, this girl's character. And now that there's more insight on her character, now it opens up the possibility that it could have been someone other than David who deleted this poor child. Let's do it. Let's play this. News Nation in the building.
Brand new video of Celeste Hernandez that completely rewrites the timeline of the case as we've come to know it has surfaced. Video was recorded at the home of Celeste's parents in Lake Elsinore, California, exactly a year ago, or a year before her body was found in the trunk of a car belonging to the rising music star named David. We had been told that Celeste went missing in April of 2024 and that her family hadn't seen her since. But this new video was recorded by a Nest camera on September 8th, 2024, which would make that 4 months after she ran away. The neighbors who provided the video to TMZ say that it shows her arguing with people who had pulled a prank on her. Take a look.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk? I ain't gonna let you talk. No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. Nah, you tripping. Out the door and you tripping.
Oh my God.
Nah, because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
Just by the very dates of this video seems to prove that Celeste visited her family at least once after she ran away for the last time. But a year and a half after the final missing person report was filed, her body was discovered in a frunk. That's the front trunk of David's Tesla. That was just 3 weeks ago. This video was just discovered as we're finally learning what's been going on behind the scenes of the investigation. The LAPD's captain and commanding officer released a statement saying that the body of Celeste Hernandez was likely in the frunk of the Tesla for a long time before it was discovered. According to Captain Scott Williams, quote, "We know for sure that Celeste Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the front trunk area of David Burke's Tesla. We know that the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks. So it is very likely Celeste Hernandez had been dead for several weeks prior to her body being discovered." I know, you don't think it's a big deal because it's like, yeah, we know all that, right? Not really. Like, this is the police finally confirming it, and they haven't said a thing. But that really does track with our reporting last week when we spoke with a private investigator who tracked down the tow reports for this Tesla. And they show that neighbors had called police about that car on August the 26th. Police responded the next day and ticketed the car as per protocol. They got to wait 72 hours between each of the tickets they put on there. And after 3 visits, then they can tow the car. The second ticket came September 3rd, and the Tesla was finally towed September 5th. So by our math, police were involved with the car for a week and a half. But the neighbors who lived nearby said the Tesla had already spent close to a month abandoned on that side road. And by the way, incidentally, it was just 1 street over from David's $20,000 a month mansion that his manager was renting. The Tesla was registered in David's legal name, David Burke. The 20-year-old singer has not been arrested, nor has he been named a suspect. But his friends confirmed to TMZ last week that he was indeed in a romantic relationship with a 14-year-old girl, Celeste. Social media posts indicate they may have even known each other since she was 12 and maybe even 11. Captain Williams responded to the friend's characterization by saying, quote, "As far as their relationship, it would be premature for me to say anything. We are looking into everything." An important piece of the puzzle that has yet to be determined is Celeste's cause of death. The medical examiner has deferred a cause while they await the toxicology results. But one thing they have determined is that Celeste Hernandez was not pregnant when she died.
Okay, so this is why I watch News Nation, Because News Nation, as you're in your mind asking all these questions, they come right with it, answering every question that your mind may jump to when you're listening to the report. Celeste Rivas was not pregnant. So that eliminates one of the motives for David, for people, that people believe David may have had for deleting this girl, right? That's out of the question. Now you have to ask, if David did delete her, what was the reason? Okay, he was involved in a romantic relationship with her. That's cool, right? It's wrong to do that, but then you would have to prove that there was some type of, sexual relations going on between them. And that's virtually impossible to prove posthumously, right? They're doing the toxicology report and all that, but it looks like with the pedo stuff or the PDF stuff, David's probably going to walk with that, because even though there are people who say that's not admissible in court, that's just hearsay. Do they have evidence that this man was engaged with this girl in an actual way, right? He's still wrong. He's still a PDF, because we have common sense, right? We know what happens, right? But this girl was reported missing. Her family saw her. They never went back to the police officers and said, yo, we saw her. She's no longer missing. She's safe, whatever, right? They just let that missing persons report continue to go on, right? And they said someone placed Celeste in the Tesla trunk, right? Now, think about this. As the owner of a Tesla, you know that the Tesla records everything. Do you think that that's something that that David didn't know? David's manager didn't know? Why would they do that? Of all the places they could put her, why would they place her in a Tesla knowing that that Tesla is recording everything, right? So this is making me think that there is something else going on here. Either there was a debt maybe that was owed, right? Maybe by David, or maybe she owed somebody a debt because she was clearly using drugs, right? And someone has said, oh, what about his music? Yeah, they got that song that they say alludes to him killing someone. But at the same time, it's like, this doesn't add up, because he made that song and then she turned up dead. And also something else that I read, was that she had been in the trunk for a couple of weeks. It was several weeks. So when they said a long time, they were being very vague, but the coroner said she had to be in that trunk for several weeks, right? Not several months, several weeks. Now, when she was killed, they said she had been dead for just several weeks. So now we got to place it with, we got to ask the question, was David even in Lake Elsinore or LA? Was he even in LA? Was he even in Hollywood when she was deleted? Or if she was actually deleted, because they're still not giving cause of death. And what did I say on No Jumper? I said she probably overdosed and somebody was trying to hide it. I said that. Nobody wants to be a part of a 15-year-old girl overdosing on narcotic. So what people will do, especially people in the underworld, they will try to hide something like that. That doesn't make them murderers, but that makes them people who try to conceal a death so they wouldn't be held responsible for it. Now, if you are a drug dealer and you're supplying young children with drugs, yeah, you are a murderer. You're an animal, right? You're a degenerate. But was she slaughtered? Was she killed, by the hands of someone who had the intention of deleting her? I would not say that selling drugs to someone is premeditated murder, because obviously who wants to kill their customers? Nobody. That ain't premeditated. So like Zeb is saying, this charge is as serious as it gets. And when you have a charge this serious, one of the things you don't want to do is jump to a bunch of conclusions. right? And I actually appreciate the LAPD because they're doing the work on this one, because there was a time back in the day where they would have just arrested David and bro would have just been rotting in jail until they figured out what was going on. But they're doing their due diligence, and none of this is really seeming to point at David other than the PDF stuff, which unfortunately bro's probably going to get off on that. And we can be as mad as we want to, but if you think that that is going to stop these fans of David from consuming and watching and listening to his music, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, because that's what happens. When someone's a celebrity, they get away with stuff that normal people don't get away with. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't think it should be that way. But this is just the world we're living in, unfortunately, right? So this opens up a lot of questions. But what we know now is she was not pregnant. It's not even looking like a homicide at this point. But they did say that she was dismembered. They did say that. So then again, that does point to homicide. Now, if this boy David is diabolical enough to even set something like this up, if this boy is diabolical enough to commit this act himself, throw him under death penalty. I wish we would bring back the death penalty for people who do stuff like this. But you liberals, you do-gooders, you love giving everybody a second chance, right? His reputation is not even ruined. I've been looking at some of the Reddit and stuff like that. Man, these people love him. They're defending him. He's gonna sell out now. If he's not guilty, he's gonna sell out every show. Because I tell you guys, this generation that's coming up, they're sadistic, man. They don't care about anything. If you're standing in the way of something that they like and want to consume, guess what? They will get you out of there. They will get you out of there. Why do you think so many of these shooters and stuff are coming from this generation? Because they live life through the internet, so they've lost any idea of like they lost a lot of their humanity because they're not really in touch with reality, right? This is the generation where a boy likes a girl and they'll avoid her all day and then go on the internet, look up her Instagram and message her, oh, hey, what's up? You want to hang out? Exactly. Perfect word, fake brick baby. They're desensitized, right? So they just don't care. That's why when you hear these people talk about, oh, pedo is, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, bro, 90% of the people who were victim to that stuff wouldn't even, the generation they're in, they don't even care about it. Oh, well, shit happens. And I'm not even going to blame video games. Sitting inside all day. This is the COVID generation who didn't go to school for 2-3 years and sat up living life, basically, learning life through a computer screen, through the internet, where you could sit up and say anything and nothing's going to happen to you. Or at least you feel like nothing's going to happen to you, right? I'm realizing that now, especially with these podcasters and stuff and the fades being called out. Now, I realize, oh, we're just dealing with a bunch of people who live life through the internet. So they feel like I can say anything and no one's ever going to do anything about it. And that's cool if that's how they want to live life. But we got some juice on this. This was some good updates. The plot is thickening, right? The game is afoot, as Sherlock Holmes said. Didn't read Sherlock Holmes. But the game is afoot. The science of deduction is, in play. And we are going to find out and get to the bottom of what happened with this girl, Celeste Hernandez. Let's send our love and support out to her family. Let's hope that they are not withholding anything that can shed light onto her death. Because let me tell you something. The way that girl's mouth was running up in that video, I wouldn't even be surprised if one of her own people took her ass out. Because she was a product of this generation. One of these young kids who think they could say anything to somebody and get away with it. She clearly wasn't listening to her family, right? They reported her missing, and she right up in their face. She was out here doing what she wanted to do. And unfortunately, like my granny used to tell me, a hard head make a soft ass. I'm not saying that to disparage the girl or nothing. But guys, we gotta call a spade a spade. And we gotta stop softening the blow, so to speak. Because as long as you do that, our children don't learn anything. I mean, do you have a question, Jay? I glance at the chat every now and then. I glance at the chat every now and then. But if you want it answered and addressed for certain, put it in the form of a super chat, and I'll definitely answer it. But if someone makes a good point, I will talk. And one of the and look, guys, I know a lot of you love my podcasting and my potting style. This is why I used to get so irritated at Lush when he would interrupt me all the time, because I'm trying to give you guys value. You came here to get the news from me. You got a million other sources where you can get this information. And so I try to do my best and put my best foot forward. When I got a damn dope fiend interrupting me, that is not a real life situation, because in real life, I would never hang around a dope fiend. So just understand how how irritating that is for me. Especially when I'm coming from my own thing where I don't have to worry about someone interrupting me. I sit in front of in my house, in my living room, with my back to the kitchen. You see those cabinets right there, guys? We're getting this whole kitchen remodeled. So those cabinets should look different next week if this damn guy shows up like he's supposed to today. But it's all good. So I do not like someone interrupting, especially to try to make light or crack a joke. So that's one of the reasons why I used to be so irritated. But yeah, if you ask a question and I see it, yes, I will address it. But a lot of times there's comments coming in underneath yours, and your question gets pushed to the top. It gets pushed out of my view. Where are you about to go? Where are you going, Wilson? Have fun. Ha! But listen, guys, we're in the building. Celeste Riva's story is getting crazy, but yet I feel like we're getting closer to finding out exactly what happened. And we may never know exactly what happened, because I'm telling you, some of these Southside types and all this stuff, dude, they're good at sweeping shit under the rug, right? But I think if someone was brutally murdered, I think that the coroner would have been able to deduce that by now. But let's see. Zeb said Lush was interrupting like he didn't want to hear what I had to say. But look, I've been exonerated. Everything that I said concerning a lot of things, as the story develops, people are hitting me up in my inbox like, bro, it looks like you were right about this. Bro, it looks like you were spot on with this. And that's what I love. I love making a assumption. I love taking a educated guess and then watching things unfold and seeing that I was actually accurate about what I was saying. Right? Now let's do this. Let's go to the next topic. We got the illegal criminal alien migrants, the protesters who are in support of them are fighting in Chicago right now with ICE. And let me tell y'all this, which is crazy. They brought guns to the protest. So armed anti-ICE protesters are in Chicago fighting with ICE, man. Fighting with the Department of Homeland Security. They got sticks with nails in it. They're basically bringing weapons to these protests. ICE. Okay. They're bringing weapons to these protests now. And guys, this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. And you're not going to beat the government. You're not going to beat the government that is backed by 70% of the population in carrying out these, 70% of voters in carrying out these
confrontations continuing outside the ICE process.
So what is absolutely diabolical is that these protesters are now at the point where they are willing to bring weapons to these protests. And when it comes to stuff like this, I hate to be right, but didn't I tell you guys, if you kept taking the immature position on this, Lush, Adam, Josh, it would embolden people to the point where now they're engaged in criminal behavior. And that is exactly what's going on. They are now bringing weapons to the anti-ICE protest, but they're still losing the battle. Let's tap in.
Confrontations continuing outside the ICE processing facility in Broadview, where ICE agents and protesters have been facing off for weeks now. The village of Broadview is caught in the middle as the federal government has moved in with enforcement. Asal resigned the newsroom for us now. Asal, the suburb was told agents would be using chemicals there now?
Yeah, Suzanne, Village of Broadview leaders say the fire department was told ICE agents would launch enforcement all day yesterday by employing chemicals like tear gas and pepper spray against citizens, residents, and first responders. We saw those chemical agents being used against demonstrators last night. Our crews caught in the smoke there as well. It was an intense night of clashes as protesters tried to get in the way of federal agents moving in and out of that facility. This is something we've seen on and off for weeks now. Several people were detained throughout the night. We saw Customs and Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bavino filming what appeared to be a promo there yesterday morning. Our crew say he was back there in Broadview last night, leading agents in and out of the gates there. We know he spearheaded aggressive immigration enforcement tactics in Los Angeles, and he posted this video to X yesterday showing multiple ICE detainments outside of Home Depots and different areas in Chicago. This comes as the Village of Broadview sent out this release yesterday. It reads in part in retaliation for the Village of Broadview yesterday calling on U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to stop making war on our community. Quote, ICE agents this morning informed the Broadview Police Department that there will be an expletive show in Broadview today. When we asked about that expletive, Homeland Security told us this is made up. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson says she wants residents to take precautions and protect themselves. Live in the newsroom, Asal Razai, CBS News Chicago.
Thanks so much, Asal.
Okay, so, it's easy to talk tough about anything when you're not there and you're not the one taking the beatings or doing the dying, right? But of course the government is going to assert dominance because the government has been duly elected by the people of this country to do that on their behalf. They're not going to allow a bunch of angry protesters with guns to dictate what they're doing. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of opinions on this, and I love to hear your opinions. But come on, guys, we're adults. We're adults. You have the right to peacefully protest, but you do not have the right to bring a weapon, a gun, to a protest. Listen, I carried a gun for many years illegally. Now we do it legally. But I had the gun because I was ready to use the gun in the event that something that was threatening to me occurred. You don't carry a gun because you don't plan on using it. If you're bringing guns to protest, in my opinion, it's giving that you are trying to look for an opening where you can discharge the gun at a federal agent without getting caught. You've already had one man attack federal agents with a gun, and I don't think anybody got killed, but he killed some illegal immigrants, right? This is getting out of hand. Once you obstruct these duly appointed officers from doing what they've been commissioned to do by the president and the people of the United States, you now have become a traitor to your country, and you are committing a form of treason against the government. And if you understand what the Constitution says, it says, we the people, a government of the people. You know what that means? That means the people are the government. So you are acting in a treasonous manner against the people of the United States of America. And just because you feel sorry for an illegal immigrant, just because your mom is illegal, your cousin is illegal, whatever, and they ain't never hurt nobody, that does not mean you get to operate under you get to operate as a traitor to your country and get away with it. This is why I say it's very important to understand the laws of the land that you live in. If you hate America and what America is doing so much, go move to another country. Your mom is from south of the border, whether it's El Salvador, Mexico, whatever. They'll give you citizenship. You already got citizenship. You cannot turn against your country because you don't like something that the country does if what's being done has been voted on by the people. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like the way black people are treated all the time in America. But at the end of the day, if a black person is breaking the law, what can I do? Why would I jeopardize my family and my ability to take care of them because someone wants to break the law? And at the end of the day, that is what these people have done. It sucks. But you know what my granny used to tell me? It's going to eventually catch up to you. My grandma used to say it's going to catch you on 11/20. Don't know what the hell that means. Don't know why 11/20 was even in the sentence. But I understood that it meant it's going to catch you on the back eventually. And this is what's happening. Malcolm X said the chickens are coming home to roost. My question is, if you cared so much, why didn't you take the steps to get these people legal, naturalized, or whatever it's called before this point came? But what I want you to understand, not to get too politically crazy about this, is this. You guys supported a regime under Biden that allegedly allowed 20 million illegal criminals into this country. You were celebrating that. Now, and what those people did is they came in, they hurt a lot of Americans, they took over a lot of neighborhoods, they engaged in crime. That scared your fellow Americans. And when your fellow Americans went to you and said, we're worried about this, people are getting killed, children are getting hurt, you said, I don't care, I don't give a damn. That was your response. That was the response of people like Lush, Josh Adam, most of these liberal people running around. They didn't care. They were making fun of people who were genuinely concerned, like the family of Lacey Peterson, right? Was her name Lacey Peterson? Am I saying the wrong person? What was that girl's name? Lacey Peterson might be somebody else. I'm getting old, y'all. Hold on. What was that girl's name? I'm tripping. Lacey Peterson is the girl who killed her husband. Hey, white folks, I'll be running them together. Sorry. What was that girl's name? Don't say Lorena Bobbitt. What was the name of the girl who got killed? I haven't talked about political stuff in a long time since I was on No Jumper, so I didn't forgot most of the names. But the point was, I'm trying to get this lady's name. I don't want to be. Oh, Rachel Morin was killed. She was one, but what was the high pro? There was one who was real high profile. I'm surprised y'all ain't corrected me yet. Jocelyn was killed. Nungary, she was in Atlanta. She was in Georgia. Michelle, the Morin lady, Rachel Morin, but there was a really high profile one. Lincoln Riley. That's who it was. Lincoln Riley. See, we didn't forgot their name. Lincoln Riley was the one that set it off. But when people were bringing up Lincoln Riley and they were like, man, these illegal immigrants are killing. Look at, they killed Lincoln Riley. Oh, they're taking over apartment buildings in Atlanta. I mean, in Georgia. I mean, in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. You know what you all did? You laughed. You made light of it. It's not true. It's not happening. It was happening, but you didn't want to accept it because it went against the narrative that the Democrats gave you. And guess what you did? You scared America. You made America feel like they're being hurt and no one cares. And now they agreed to this. They agreed to allow Trump to do this. And now you want to run out and cry and protest and, oh, it's not fair. Well, maybe if instead of being an antagonistic jerk when people were expressing their concerns at the types of people who were being allowed into this country illegally, maybe if you would have tried to empathize and connect with those people and understand where they were coming from, instead of trying to take the whole pot, right? Winner take all. Maybe you wouldn't have to deal with this situation. Now you feel bad, and now those people on the other side, they don't care anymore. They don't care anymore. This is what happens when you deal with your brothers and your sisters abusively. This is what happens when you operate in a dismissive way with the people that you have to share this country with. I don't try to dismiss anybody. That's why this is a call-in show. So people can come up and express what they feel about these situations. And I listen respectfully and I give my opinion. When we start dismissing each other, now it becomes a tit for tat. Who could screw the other person over the most while they got the power in their hand? The chickens are coming home to roost. And I hate for it to have to be this way. But you guys let Biden and Kamala Harris and all these politicians who don't give a damn about you, you let them pump you up thinking that they were going to be ruling this country forever. When it was like, when the blacks in Chicago were complaining about how the illegal criminal alien migrants were doing crime in their community. You know what the Latinos said in Little Village? Oh, well, get over it. We'll take them. It doesn't matter what you feel or what you think or what's happening to you. Now, when those people are being detained by ICE, they have no support from the African Americans over there. You try to deal with a very delicate issue with a sledgehammer. We just gonna let them invade the country and they gonna have to just accept it. No, they didn't accept it. They went to the other side and came back with a sledgehammer named Donald Trump. And now you guys are the ones crying now. And it's sad to see. Let's get back to the days of bipartisanship. Let's get back to the days where we work together to solve the unique challenges that face this beautiful country. But the biggest thing we're not going to be able to accept is these people bringing guns to these protests. And if you think I'm lying, if you don't believe me, ask the dishes.
We're learning that one of the two protesters detained by ICE, who the Department of Homeland Security says was armed with a gun, is Elias Cepeda. We spoke to his mother, who is demanding his release as tensions continue to rise. This seemingly peaceful dance by anti-ICE protesters is soon replaced with fierce clashes as tense moments unravel outside the ICE detention center in Broadview Friday, with at least two
This boy mama is demanding his release after he done brought a gun to an ICE protest. See what I'm talking about? See why we got beef? Your son brought a gun to an ICE protest, right? Your son brought a gun to an ICE protest. You're demanding his release. You know what that tells me? Zepeda's mama don't give a damn about nobody but herself and her little violent son. Now I got to cut you. Now I got to deal with you like an animal because your behavior is that which condones animalistic behavior if it's committed by your child. And me, I'm not about to defend nobody's animalistic behavior, even if it's my own blood. I'm gonna call my nephew right now. I'm gonna ask him, does he think if he brought a gun to a protest and he was arrested, if I would be screaming for them to release him? Let's see if he picks up. He might be in class because he's at school right now, not bringing guns to protests. That's the difference. We are raising our kids differently. And there are many, many Hispanic people, white people, black people, Asian people who are raising their children to be honorable citizens. So I'm not going to condone anyone doing anything different, right? I'm not going to condone anyone doing anything different. Why are you demanding the release of your criminal son? I'll ask my other nephew. Hello?
Clock it.
Oh yeah, look, he said clock it. This guy is he's so weird. But look, so they're not answering. They're in school right now. They're in college right now, doing what they're supposed to do, right? Oh, but I think he's off at 2. He'll probably end up calling me back. But I think he's out at 2 and it's 2. But this is what I'm saying. How can I trust you as my neighbor when your son brought a gun to a peaceful protest? And what did I say? You don't bring a gun unless you're planning on using it. But you're not saying, okay, what are the circumstances? Let's give this boy let's make sure this boy get rehabilitated and gets the help that he needs while he's locked up and figure out how we're going to prevent him from doing this again. No. Just release him. It don't matter what he did. Now I can't trust you, Miss Zepeda, or whatever your name is. Now I can't trust you because you're okay with the violence and ridiculousness as long as it's committed by your kid. Now she is Hispanic, but what she as a Hispanic woman doesn't understand that as a black man, I lived in a community that was destroyed by this very mentality and mindset. People who didn't care about the crime and murder that was being committed because it was their kids doing it. They know their son over there shooting up the neighborhood. They know their son is over there robbing the liquor store, but they would defend it and they would protect them because blood is thicker than water, as we used to say. Even if blood is destroying your community and making it unsafe for innocent kids to live. So I'm not going to repeat that under a different skin tone. We are going to call it out and we're going to say, look, take that shit back to El Salvador. Because these same people will say that they left these violent Latin American countries, which I heard El Salvador is real nice now. I'm gonna go to El Salvador to show Maduro how much I appreciate him cleaning up that cesspool. I'm going to go down there. But listen to me. Hear me. They left their country because violence, the cartels, and all this stuff. But then they get to this country and are condoning and defending the very behavior that ran them up out of their country. But just because it's their kids doing it now. This is what I'm saying. If you just listen, don't listen to what a man say. Look at his actions. They'll tell you it's all peaceful. They'll tell you that they left their country because of violence. But now that their kid is the criminal, let them go. It don't matter. I bet you those cartel members, mamas and daddies, is saying the same thing. It don't matter what my son do. Let him out. This is the point. This is the point I'm making. Right? But nobody wants to listen to this. Everybody, especially if you're talking about them dudes over at No Jumper, those people, they want to trick you into believing they care about you by apologizing for your degeneracy. No. If you care about me, call me out on my bullcrap. Challenge me to stop doing what I'm doing that's hurting myself and potentially hurting my community. That's how I know. That's how I'm going to know that you care about me. You apologizing for me and making me feel like I can do no wrong, that doesn't show me that you care for me. That just makes you an enabler. And that tells me that when I go down, you're not going to give a damn about me. You're going to forget all about me. And thank God we have the internet, because now when they know good mama won't call them out, they got somebody like me to call them out. Somebody like Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum or Anthony Brian Logan to call them out. Because everybody wants to be an apologist, but nobody wants to be someone who holds people accountable. We have an anti-authority mindset that is growing in this country. But I'm telling you, if these people got control of this country, there would be no justice, no nothing. They would basically just rule arbitrarily based on a whim or how they feel at that moment. You think that the United States of America, you think our government is bad? Go to a country like Liberia that's ruled on anarchy, like where Flacco is from. You think this country's bad? Go do your research, because there are countries in this world where the government has collapsed. Go see what's going on over there. Women getting raped, children getting raped. Go look at what was happening in Haiti. People was eating people. Go look. And then maybe you would appreciate what you have over here and you would take action to defend it. You ever had some people in your house who are dirty? Have you ever had that? You keep your house clean, but they're dirty. And you let them come stay at your house for a week or a couple of days. Very quickly, you are going to learn why these people are so filthy. Why when you used to go to their house used to look like a pigsty. Because very soon, very soon after you allow them to live in your house, they're going to turn your house into their house. They're going to make your house look like how their house looked. Unless you police them, set rules, and they're willing to follow them, which they won't. If somebody come from the Democratic Republic of Congo, from one of them villages out there where they slaughtering each other, how long do you think it's going to be before, if he's just allowed, not vetted, just allowed to walk across the border of the United States? How long do you think it's going to be before he chops somebody when they disrespect him or say something to him that he don't like? He hasn't been vetted. Fake brick baby, you're wrong. America wasn't built on anti-authority. America was built on fair representation. The settlers went to war because they were not being fairly represented within the Parliament of Britain. Go back to the 3rd grade and pay attention this time. You fail yourself when you don't look at history and you say stuff like that. The colonies sued the British government time and time again. Give us fair representation. And George, he refused. Hold on, let me use Google. Yeah, it was George III. He refused. They made an appeal, peaceful appeal to the senses of the king of England at that time. He refused. They had no choice but to fight tyranny. Some soldier could come, just walk up in your house and move in. Hey, we came out here from Britain to fight the Indians. We about to take your bedroom and your whole house. You and your kids go sleep outside. Oh, by the way, we're going to eat up all your damn food. You don't know what you're talking about. Nothing like that occurs in America. That is why things like the police, paramilitary groups were created, so that there would be a buffer between the civilian and the military. Because the military, by nature, will abuse the rights of whatever citizens that they encounter, because they're not built to approach things in a kid gloves or soft way. And when the founding fathers fought Britain and got them up off their back, they established a republic. They established a government that took into consideration the rights and will of the people. And to this day, when you get your ass out there acting a fool, the police don't just open fire on you like the British troops used to do. Back in those days, you just got shot in the street like a dog if you protested against the government. That's not happening now. That means this system is superior to that one. Oh, this was started on anti-authority. No, it was started on anti-abuse. And yes, there are things that this country does that you could say are abusive. But usually when someone says they're being abused, you peel back the layers of the onion and you see that it's not abuse. It might be something that they don't like, but it's not abuse. Right? America is a superior country to what it was when it was just a group of colonies. Abuse is up for interpretation, but just it's what you mean to say is abuse is subjective. But there are people who say if you say something they don't like, you're abusing them, and those people we can't allow to rule the day. But I know I'll be on these monologues. They be good though, right? You learn a lot. But let me finish this video, then we're gonna move
ICE
to the
protesters detained, according to Homeland Security.
Hey everyone.
One of them is Elias Cepeda, a volunteer with Pilsen Defense and Access, seen in this video posted to Instagram right before his arrest. The 41-year-old has joined other protesters here for weeks, demonstrating against the Trump administration's ongoing immigration crackdown in the Chicago area.
We were just shot at. I was hit a number of times, including in the face.
DHS says one of the two detained by ICE was armed with a gun, saying in a post to X, in part, quote, "This is transpiring just a few days after the horrific terrorist attack on an ICE facility in Dallas."
I'm crying for him. I'm crying for all the people that I'm seeing stepped on.
Cepeda's mother, while looking through a fence demanding his release, tells me it was her son who had the gun.
My son has a legal conceal and carry, but he did not come to use it. His hands, if you look at the video, are up in the air.
You can see him in his arms. He's trying to tell him to calm down. At the same time, they were throwing what looked like grenades of gas grenades and pepper balls. At one point, another individual went back behind him, tapped him to see if it was okay, and that's when they both got taken down.
That second man detained, protesters say, is a military veteran. The arrests came as clashes between protesters and federal officers have been ongoing since the morning hours, with agents deploying pepper balls while casting the crowd in debilitating smoke.
How'd you get for trying to attack people?
This agent was forced to use other federal officers as crutches after apparently injuring himself on a nearby home's backyard gate, while we saw him trying to chase after a man who got away. Tensions also flaring up between protesters and supporters of ICE. This man's American flag was taken from him and thrown over the fence that surrounds the immigration facility.
All we did was just show up, to support our side and say, hey, and they just turned on us. They talk about no due process. They're not picking them up unless they got an order from the judge.
Cepeda's mother tells me his phone has been taken and she doesn't know when or if.
They talk about no due process. They're not.
Now look, they're violating other people's rights. That man has the right to fly his American flag. He has the right to go wherever he wants to go. But Cepeda's mama don't give a damn about his rights. She only cares about the rights of her son, who's a criminal at this point. Well, he wasn't a criminal for the concealed weapon carry, but why are you bringing that to the protest? That makes me think you're going to use it. My nephew called back. Hey, let me ask you. I'm on live. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
If you brought a gun to a peaceful protest and you were arrested by the police, do you believe I would be at the police station demanding that they let you go?
No, you bring a gun to a peaceful protest. Why is there a gun there?
Would you think I would go down there like, hey, let my nephew go?
No, you're going to be looking at me stupid because why would I bring a gun there? What was the need for a weapon if it's supposed to be a peaceful protest?
Exactly. Thank you.
You got to just let me sit in there.
Right. Thank you. Okay. So his mother has failed him because if she's willing to coddle this fool in this event that he does something that dumb, she's been enabling him for his whole life. She's been babying and enabling him for his whole life. This is the nature of savages, right? And when I say savages, I don't just mean Hispanics. I mean blacks, whites, anyone who operates in a savage way. Rules for thee, but not for me. Why do they get to vandalize this man's car? Why do they get to threaten fellow Americans getting in their car, pushing, damaging their property because they don't like their message? But if I went over there with a damn billy club and start knocking them over the head for trying to fight against ICE members, they'll say that I'm a bigot and I'm a racist and I'm a fascist. Well, what are you? What are you? I see this man, he's peaceful. He came because he has an opinion too. It just doesn't agree with your opinion. So you want to attack him. I got a neighbor in here. She doesn't like what I say. So guess what? She's going to call the office. He's saying this. But when she put her Kamala Harris sign in the window, I never called the office on her. They're the ones who can't tolerate you. But they project and say it's you who doesn't want to be tolerant of them. It's always like that. Now I got some guy in the thing saying I got tunnel vision. Discount retail chain closes half its stores. Locations is an article I just read. If America is one of the greatest nations, is struggling economics-wise, what about these other nations? Wouldn't give a damn about them. That's called capitalism. Yeah. See, it's always a deflection onto something that's irrelevant. Because the discount chain of stores is closing, that somehow means America's bad. It's probably because a bunch of people going in there stealing, like the Dollar Tree in California. They were doing fine until the law enforcement stopped enforcing the laws against theft, and then they got robbed out of business. But what I'm telling you is it happens more and more. If you let these people take over this country, even if you're on their side today, you'll regret it when it happens because they're going to turn on you because their reasoning is flawed. I should have the right to do whatever I want to do, but you should not have the right to do whatever you want to do. That is the foundation of their argument. My son should be able to carry a gun to a peaceful protest. But I promise you, if your son was on trial for gun possession and she was in a jury, she'd be like, lock his ass up and throw away the key. That's what they do. Me, I'm just saying, hey, let me just be fair. My own nephew, my blood, I raised that boy since he was little. I picked that boy up at the hospital right when he came up out of the coochie. That boy stayed with me weeks on end when he was an infant baby. But he know, you get your ass out there doing something stupid, don't expect me to come save you. Now, if you're on the right side, I'll fight for you and lay my life down for you. I have that much love for you. But if you doing something stupid, bro, do not expect me to come look for you. Especially now that your ass is grown. This is the message that that is being lost. The parents is damn near more immature than their kids. They are more immature and ignorant. Son, you to go in there to protest, right? Not shoot, right? What you got that gun for? You know shit could pop off at that protest. They've been out there fighting for weeks. You don't see a black face in the crowd, do you? That's crazy. But yeah, so no. Get him and her and get their ass up out of here. If they're not citizens. But they probably are. They probably are. But yeah, put them in jail. The sins of the father will condemn the son and of the mother. Mama dumb as hell and immature, and now the son is dumb as hell and immature, and he's about to be gone. I mean, he's in trouble. You see that Tariq injury? Tariq got injured? That's terrible. Let's wish him and his family the best. Armed protesters clash with ICE. Okay, I mean that was our next thing, but we have one more. Ooh. Look, I said if y'all gave me 5 super chats, I was going to talk about the Cardi B situation. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more super chat. One more super chat. And we could talk about how Cardi B straight dragged Nicki Minaj in this Twitter beef that they was having. And we could talk about why I'm on the side of Cardi B, man. I'm on the side of Cardi B 100%. Like, but if y'all want that, one more super chat. Meanwhile, let's talk about these super chats we got right here. First and foremost, shout out to my bro, Luke Perry, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And he dropped a $10 holler on us. Thank you for all you do, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel in a real way. Appreciate that. Next, we have, oh man, he hit us again. These guys can bring guns to a protest, but side-eye and ignore a victim on a train. 100%. Remember, these are the people who celebrated when Charlie Kirk got shot. But they want you to have mercy on them when they bring weapons to a protest, to an anti-ICE protest. Mind you, ICE has already been shot at by a gunman who tried to kill ICE agents. And I think he ended up hitting some illegal immigrants. So you know they're going to be on high alert because they want to go home to their families too. Mind you, ICE agents wear masks because crazy dudes like her son might follow them home and hurt them. But the Democrats are trying to pass laws that say ICE agents can't wear masks. That's because the Democrats are engaged in a war on ICE. And they're not doing it because they're sincere about the ICE stuff. They're doing it because they want power. And they can't get it because they don't have any good ideas. So now they're engaged in intimidation. Laughing like Saga. Family structure is so important. Rip Celeste, man. Rip Celeste. You gotta, your kids gotta know, man. Your kids gotta know, man. They gotta know. Daddy gonna defend you and support you if you in the right. But if your ass is in the wrong, don't expect daddy to come save you. Do not expect me to come save you. And even if it's your respect. My daughter said somebody on her volleyball team was getting crazy, like trying to talk trash. I said, look, man, if she getting too crazy, walk away and tell the coach. 2 months later, hey, Dad, I've been walking away. I've been telling the coach. I said, well, tell her, we'll ask her if she need that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she just want to fight you. But don't do it on cat. Don't do it at school. Tell her, hey, do you need that? Because we can set it up. We can take y'all to the gym. And if she want to throw them with you, we throw y'all in the gloves and y'all knock each other out. Yeah, there are ways to fight. Like if you really want to fight, there's ways to set that up. But we ain't out here in the streets like savages no more. We didn't came too far for that mess. Shout out to my brother Sticks and Stones LA for keeping me fresh. I'm about to come at y'all with the latest Sticks and Stones shirt that my brother produced. It's awesome. We're going to unveil that tomorrow on the Wednesday show. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to do the Wednesday show at 5. Maybe I'll do it at 4 because I'm getting the times together when y'all are available to watch. Shout out to the bro Brandon from Long Beach. Yes, sir. Long Beach in the hizzle for shizzle, my nizzle. Thank you. And I already shouted out Luke Perry for becoming a member. And that's what we got. Y'all ain't trying to hear about Cardi B, or else I would have got that one super chat. Maybe it's not important to you. But guys, listen. This was a beautiful show. And there's still time to throw that one super chat up. And we could go into Cardi B's situation. Chinese are way above us when it comes to family and unity and honor. Yeah, but black folks got potential, and Hispanics. I would say Hispanics are above us. You know, they really do keep their family units together, and it makes me mad to see Hispanic people who for so long have these strong family units that were built on respect, honor, and all that. It pisses me off to see, you know, the ignorance that they welcomed into their community when they accepted in these liberals start to tear away at the fabric of that. That's what's going on. These people are allowing these liberals into their community. Their kids are being radicalized with this liberal ideology, and it is tearing away at the fabric of their community. And it's not going to help. This liberalism stuff just destroys. It doesn't help anything. It destroys. I learned that when I was 19 years old. When I learned what the word liberalism means. It basically means anything goes and only degenerates defend it. I promise you. You see these gang members out here, a lot of them, they love liberalism because they want to live in a situation where anything goes till they get their booty taken up in prison. Now they want some rules. Brandon, I have a pic of you in my toilet and I pee and poop on the pic and lick all the pee and poop. What? You're disgusting. Listen, when you were just disparaging me, it was okay. But when you went into sadomasochism, I couldn't keep going. My boy Africulture, he said, talk about it. He said, talk about it. So look, we're going to leave the Hispanics alone. Bless y'all. We're going to leave the liberals alone. Bless y'all. We're going to go into some celebrity gossip to lighten the blow. We're going to leave the illegal African immigrants alone. Bless y'all. Because y'all, I see y'all Haitians and shit trying to sneak over here too. We all over you. Okay? Like white on rice on a paper plate in a snowstorm. Did y'all see? Did y'all see the situation between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj where they went at it briefly on Twitter? I don't know why they have a beef. If you ask me, I would have to say that Cardi B, Nicki Minaj she's superior to Cardi B in the sense that she's probably the biggest crossover female rapper in history, because she didn't cross over for sure. You got little white girls on TV singing boom, 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 super big, little 5-year-old, 6-year-old white girls. Okay. But I would say that Cardi B is nipping at her heels. Right? Cardi B is nipping at her heels. So Nicki, she must have an album or something coming out because she is dissing Cardi B hard as hell. Now, when a nobody like me says something, about Cardi B. It doesn't mean anything because Cardi B doesn't know me. And if I saw Cardi B in person, I would retract all those statements and immediately start kissing her ass because she's Cardi B, right? I would be a hypocrite in that fashion because I would be like, yo, maybe Cardi B would invite me to some party. You know, my lady could, my lady will love me for life. If I met Cardi B and finagled a way for Cardi B to, for my girl to get invited to one of these Cardi B parties. So I got a simp, y'all. Dang, I want to see where's the ABC pregnant play with his pussy. Okay. Cardi B been going on she been going in. I mean, Nicki been going in on Cardi B for a minute. Okay. So they've been firing each other up. I'm really specifically looking for the one where she said, oh, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. So this all started. I love TMZ, man. I'm learning how to cover this celebrity stuff. So bear with me. So basically, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj share fiery posts towards each other, right? And I would say Nicki Minaj started this. Obviously, she's a little bit salty looking at Cardi B's success. And I could see how someone would be a little salty because it looks like this person is doing everything wrong, but they are still winning. Now, Cardi B, in my opinion, is winning on the, on the career stuff, but her home life is a mess. But if you are a person who has ever worked, and I want you guys to feel me on this one, if you are a person who has ever worked, raised a family, or anything like that, this is what you will notice. And anybody who raises a family or just works or does anything positive, when your work life is great, your home life is suffering. When your home life is great, usually your work life is sucking, right? You very rarely have both going good at the same time. That has been my experience. Usually some bull crap is happening at my job when everything at home is great. Usually some bull crap is happening at home when everything with my job is great. That's just the way it is, right? When business is good, home life, wifey, you don't spend no time with me, this type shit. Kids, Dad, you're never around. Well, my kid never said that, but this is how it be. That's life. So right now, Cardi is winning in her work life. Album's doing great. You know what I'm saying? This joint went platinum from what I'm hearing. She's booked everywhere for interviews. Everybody wants to talk to her. The album is freaking fire. Oh my God. The album is so fire. I love this album. I think she's really getting in her groove. And I think this album could stand up against I think this album could stand up against the best Nicki Minaj album and do well, right? So work life is going great. Home life is atrocious. Baby daddy got allegedly 3 babies on the way by 3 different women. She's pregnant by the dude. It's a mess. And Cardi is like, I can't worry about that right now because I got these people who want me to be out here doing my music thing. But Nicki comes out and Nicki come out swinging. Okay? Nicki says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, rap like Barney, still ugly. Then Cardi B comes back at Nicki and says, cocaine Barbie. Cat fight. Nicki Minaj says A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G. Surgery to look like me. Tell the rat and tell Jay-Z. Rico fraud and perjury. Then Nicki comes again with A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Pregnant, play with his pussy. Nicki don't write her own rhymes either, y'all. So, and that is the reason why. Cardi B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Your man have to snatch pussy. Pussy tastes like honeycomb. Your bro be touching 12-year-olds. Now we see why they don't write their own rhymes. They are respectively retarded. But here's where Cardi, I think, laid the hammer on this chick. Right? Here, somebody said W Nikki. Somebody said W Nikki, but I don't think Nikki took the W on this one, y'all. I like Nikki just as much as the next guy, but I don't think Nikki took the W on this one. Let me put a poll in the comments, pause. So y'all can give y'all opinion on who y'all think won this one. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Pause. Right here, a poll. Who is winning the Twitter battle? One, we'll say Cardi. We'll put Cardi because she's the one who dropped most recently. Cardi. Nikki. Okay. Star poll. Y'all go vote. Everybody go vote. All right. So this is where I think Cardi dropped the hammer on Nikki, and it was wild. So Cardi said, Cardi said, why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers. That started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with. And you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What the F is you comparing yourself to me for? That's a legitimate criticism. Why are you even thinking about Cardi B? Cardi B is super successful, but she is not a global success like Nicki. So why is Nicki comparing herself to Cardi? Cardi got a hot album. Nicki has already achieved a hot career. Nicki Minaj, raw dogging pregnant with the fourth baby. Barney B, BV, HP, allegedly. Nikki, stop, bro, with the nursery rhymes. That shit's funny, though. Cardi said, all right, now this is the third tweet talking about my pregnancy. Like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't produce from all them perks scrambling your eggs. Not allegedly. Lord, protect my babies. Listen, that was the nail in the coffin. That was the nail in the coffin. You tried to come at somebody about having a baby by somebody who got a bunch of babies on the way, and they came at you like, yo, you can't even have a kid due to your alleged drug use, right? Then Nikki said that Cardi had surgery to look like her. Nikki, you had surgery to look like something because before that, you didn't look like nothing. You can't shame somebody for surgery saying that they had surgery to look like you when you had surgery just so you wouldn't look like you. That's like somebody trying to clown you for buying the same car they bought. Yeah, you bought the car because you was walking. How you flex with some fake shit? You didn't like the way you looked, so you went and had a bunch of surgeries that, in my opinion, were botched, so you didn't have to look at yourself in the mirror. And I also don't like Cardi B surgeries either. But I'm pretty sure BBL surgeries have made significant advancements and strides in the field. They've seen significant advancements and strides in the field. And so I'm thinking Cardi's BBLs and stuff are probably done better than Nicki's. Because Nicki's stuff was crazy. Because like I remember, like, if she didn't get certain shots, if she didn't get certain shots, she would be flappy booty would be going on. It would be absolutely wild. Hey, your hair looks so nice. Come let the audience see your hair. Keep the glasses on. Why are you taking your clothes off in the living room? What? Man, you like lush right now? Let the audience see your hair. It looks so nice. This is all women care about these days. Just, ooh, Sassoon. Okay, get out of here. Thank you. All right, don't try to take my shine. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, it was like crazy because I remember like the ass shots wore off. And yeah, niggas just walked in the house and started taking their clothes off. I mean, I have that effect on the ladies, but yeah, not now. But anyway, turn the camera around on you. Boop, boop. But anyway, so that's so disgusting. But the pit sweat was crazy. Put on deodorant. Oh, was you sitting under the cape? Yeah, it had you. And then she was getting close to my ear. I got scared. I got pit sweat too. It's kind of hot in here. It brought me back. Is today hot? What's the temperature? It's a little warm. It's hot outside. Okay, cool. Yeah. But anyway, the booty was flapping in the wind. And I was like, that's disgusting. So I don't understand how Nicki is flexing on Cardi, talking about you got surgery to look like me. Girl, everybody's getting surgery. And y'all all getting surgery so y'all could look like Serena and them, the chicks who really got the cakes. So you're doing it to imitate, so you can look like someone other than you. And Nicki, before you had that, you was whooped. Cardi had a little body on her before she got surgery, right? Okay, so Cardi got surgery because she was working at the whole club. But Cardi had body before surgery. She just got more butt, but she had body. Nicki didn't have no body. Nicki was flat, right? Nicki was flat. So stop it, Nicki. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah, that's what I was saying, youngster. Nicki's booty was like deflated. It was nasty. It was real nasty. And she made a video with it all deflated and stuff. Now, 90% of you rogue animals would have still smashed, but yuck. You know what I'm saying? Yuck. We only doing natural cakes over here anyway. We're team natural cakes. But yeah, so I don't think that's a real win for Nicki. But with the baby stuff, scrambling your eggs, that was a good line. I think Cardi took this round. So they're going to fight again and shit. But at this point, Nicki, shut the hell up and drop an album. Because if you make something, I don't think Nicki Minaj Monster is excellent. I'm going to give her that. That's a classic. But that song Dead by Cardi B, that is also a classic. That is also, and I feel like Cardi is spitting from the soul about real problems that she faced. To me, Nicki is just spitting about hoe shit. Like just sex, right? Little Kim did that and Nicki surpassed her. But I feel like Cardi could spit about sex and real problems in her life. Nicki was full of fix-a-flat. Let's check the poll, guys. Pause. Nah, Cardi is winning 58%. Cardi is now at 54 to 46. So if you and Nicki, why do we only have 13 people voting and it's 200 and some people up here watching? We got 100. Oh, shoot. So you guys can't see this, but we have 194 people watching on X. We got 73 people watching on YouTube. That y'all can't see this. So y'all don't see. So that's why you guys think the views are always low. I get it. They're not low like that. We got 194 people on Twitter, X, and we got 70 people on YouTube. Why don't all you guys on X jump over here to YouTube so we can get the numbers up on YouTube, man? That's what I want to see. Let's jump the numbers up on YouTube. But yeah, I only got 76 on YouTube, but I got 194 on X. That's crazy. I think YouTube just be burying me in the algorithm, man. Still more views than Todd Bridges. Yeah. So don't think we're in small, low views gang, guys. We got the views. I just stream to audiences in different forms. I need all my ex viewers though to get over here to Twitter. I mean, the ex viewers to get over here to YouTube too. Because YouTube pays better than X by a lot. But yeah, I know. Yeah, I know people been saying the notifications ain't hitting them. But if you guys follow me on Instagram at Defiant Brandon, follow me on Instagram, everybody. Then I always post it to Instagram before I always post it to Instagram before I go live. Okay, so do that. I'll put the link for. Hold on. I'll put the link for my Instagram on in the comments, so you guys can follow me. I don't know, but hold on. I'm gonna put in the comment. Hey, go over to Instagram. If you're not getting the notifications from YouTube, go over to Instagram. You're beating a man who once dated Janet Jackson. That's funny. I probably got more money than him too. But Todd Bridges is trying to get a job on a show. He messed himself up doing drugs though. You know, you black, you ain't Robert Downey Jr. Now 60% of the chat agrees with Cardi. So it is what it is. But yeah, guys. So I think Cardi B took round one or round whichever one this is of them fighting. So we'll see what Nikki does in the future. But if you keep talking trash about the Queen Bee right now. Oh shit, JV? Yeah. Oh crap. All right. Anyway, I didn't yeah, so Nikki's gonna have to drop an album if she's gonna keep attacking Cardi. If you're not gonna drop an album, Nikki, just leave Cardi alone and go about your damn business. But we definitely got the Twitter, the X people watching. Hey, got my people on X, feel free to contribute to the stream. I know I don't put any donation links over there, but I guess I'm gonna have to start because you guys are over there watching. And oh, let me make sure I don't have any Cash App contributions. People are so loyal to like certain platforms. They're like, look, I'm an X person. I ain't coming over there. So you got to just make sure they're able to participate, despite, you know. Let me see. I'm trying to. Let me see if I could do this. I don't even have an X on here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, but I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. It means so much to me. Profile. Oh yeah, we're in the building. Let me get in this live. I don't even have an X on here. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it looks good on X. It looks good on X. Let me see if I could do this. Hold on. All right, guys. I put the Cash App. I'm putting the Cash App on X. And if you guys are not following me on X, please do. Yeah, I put the Cash App link on X. And I'll start reading. I don't know if you guys are leaving comments in real time, but the comments should go to StreamYard. I love you guys too. I love all of you. Aaron, Arion, I think your name is. I love all my viewers. I appreciate everybody. 22, Tupac watching. Who watching? Adam? Oh, maybe he is. That's good. But thank you all for tapping in. I don't see I don't see the 22ster. Where? I don't see him. I don't see the 22ster. No, shout out to Adam, man. Blessings to him and his family if he's here. But guys, I gotta go. I just found out that this volleyball game is about to start pretty soon. So thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for me and this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves, but more importantly, please take care of each other. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on X at Defiant Brandon. At Defiant Brandon on Instagram. Hell, at Defiant Brandon on Facebook. Thanks to all you guys. I don't see the 22ster. What did he say? Brandon, please come back. We love you. Good luck on this 4 o'clock show today. But peace, guys.